Why are you late? I said 7, it's 8:15.
Yeah, I thought Boeboes, I must pick him up 10 to 6, and then he said 10
So
past
it's your
6.
fault.
Yeah, it doesn't help you. You live in Coetzee.
I think they should make South Africa the first country and just remove all the traffic lights. And just make it a free
might as
for all.
well. Anyway, guys, we're back with the episode. I think it's the third one.
Yeah,
So third one, and we've got a very special guest, a very good friend, Andries Boeboes Coetzee. I'll start with telling you a bit about our history. In 2009, that's the first time we met in the Western Province Academy. And obviously from there our journeys parted a bit, and we went to Australia from jail. And and Boeboes went a bit to Tuks and played there, and obviously he had a big history contribution towards the Lions' success from the 2015 to 2018 era. So welcome, Boeboes.
I just want to say something first. I ran a poll on my Instagram,
Yeah.
and they've rated him the second best looking guy at the Lions. Guess who was first? No, anyway, listen, we've got the reason why we got Boeboes on is about a few weeks ago now, Boeboes, we drove back and he explained me his career journey, his story. And I remember telling him, yes, but it actually gives me goosebumps. We started in 2009. Boeboes, do you want to explain from there how your career started and that you almost quit? And basically, I just want to come down to, for people watching, perseverance, especially for young kids, not giving up. And I'll let you explain your story.
Yeah, so when we drove, me and Rowan is in a ride club.
Lift club, yeah.
Yeah, a lift club from Pretoria to Joburg, but obviously there's a lot of chats. So obviously my career started at the institute at Province. But yeah, when I was up my whole high school career, I thought that maybe I'm gonna play cricket, but I loved rugby more. But at the end, I got a scholarship at the institute. So 2009 was my big break. I thought to play rugby. Obviously, there I played inside centre at that time, but we played. I played a couple of games, whatever. But after a year, they told me, okay, you can go. Came back to Tuks to study.
Just so the institute, Western Province at the time, didn't want you to. They said we don't need you.
Yes.
So they basically said,
And just in that, did we play double rounds or was it one round?
No,
I think double
rounds.
Yeah. I played. I must say, I played one game on wing. Like I was on a bench and I came on at wing for 5 minutes. But after a year they said, okay, we're not going to use you again, whatever. And I came back to study, but I was late for registration, and so I couldn't study what I wanted to study.
Okay, but Boeboes, before that, so after that you decided, no, I'm going to stop this. I'm done with rugby.
Yeah, obviously, but it's just like they were really good rugby players.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, might as well just call it. And everybody tells you must look further in your career. Rugby is not going to bring you
the old cliche chat. Yeah.
Anyway, so I was late for registration, and the only thing I could register for was to go teaching, and the other option was to register at the Boeboes Academy,
Rugby Academy,
Rugby Academy, and my brother actually told my mother, let him play one more year.
Yes.
Just one more year and see what happens. If it doesn't come off,
But in your head, you were done. You thought, I was done.
So the other thing is, I played centre at Province. At my high school career, I played centre and fly off. And when I registered at the academy, nobody know who I was and where I came from or whatever. And I came in, so my middle brother played fullback at school.
Okay.
And I told them, no, I'm a fullback. And from there, they selected me on fullback, and I played fullback. So I never played fullback before in my life. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna try fullback. My brothers also said, okay, just try fullback and see what happens. And from there,
So that was 2010.
10, yeah.
10.
But what's interesting is when he explained it to me, his steps he had to take. He started at Tuks, you can carry on now, but he started at Tuks young guys. Like what people don't understand, if you don't, your first year out of school, you get a contract somewhere, and you don't make it from there on.
Yeah.
You go back to
Steps behind
way back.
behind, yeah.
You got to start over. Like he just mentioned, no one knew who he was. He just took a chance. He went because his family
Yeah.
obviously supported him. But then from there, where did you start? Where did you play first?
So you play for the academy,
yeah,
and so you get Tuks Young Guns.
yeah,
That's like Tuks under 21s.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
played Young Guns. They pulled me up to the Young Guns. I played Young Guns, and then someone in the second team of Tuks, second team got injured.
yeah.
No, someone in the first team got injured, so they pulled the guy in the second team up, and I went, and they said, okay, I have a trial on fullback at the second team. I played second team, one game, played one game at the second team, and then they pulled me up to the first team. So I played there, Colton Cup, it's still
Club,
going on, Colton Cup, and then Clayton Blommetjies got injured at the Bulls, and they said I can go for a trial at the Bulls.
Yes. But you obviously had a blind of a game.
Yeah, well, I didn't play badly.
Yeah.
So, and I must say, that time was Coach Nolles at Tuks. Who was Nico Sarfontein was
Yes.
at the 21 Bulls. So Tuks and the Bulls are very like.
Aligned.
So sorry,
aligned, yeah.
that's the same year when we played Western Province. We won. The
Yeah,
2020.
2010, I think.
And we actually played the Bulls in the final.
yeah,
Yeah. You guys played against
Yeah.
So at the end, so in the middle of the season, I got pulled up to the Bulls under 21s, or went on a trial. At the end of the day, I played for them. Played in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost. I think we played at Durban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Durban,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the main team is most where you,
Yes, you play.
You always
you
travel
play
with,
the finals. Lost that game. So obviously I played at the Bulls, and they said they wanted to keep me. So me and Franco Mostert,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were big buddies at that time. Said, and Franco also came from the academy. Told us, listen here, we want you guys to stay, and we're gonna give you contracts. So, and we must just wait 2 weeks. And they gave Franco a contract, and then they told me I must wait another 2 weeks. And then Nico Sarfontein went from the Bulls to the Lions.
Okay.
And in that 2 weeks, he contacted me and said, listen, yeah, he wants me at the Lions. So when the Bulls came again and said I must wait another 2 weeks,
You decided no.
I decided, because I got like 1,000, sorry,
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
1,500 rand for a game.
Yeah.
I didn't have a contract or anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, and then Nico came and said, listen, yeah, here's a contract, he has a contract for you. And I thought, well,
Listen,
Well,
Boobs, I just want to ask you a question, because I get quite a lot of messages from younger kids asking how can they get into the system, how that sort of stuff. They don't have money, and that's how did you? Because obviously Tuks helped you out maybe with a bursary or whatever it was. How did you financially sustain? And the idea behind the question is to give advice to guys that, because sometimes they just want to expect to walk into a contract, but
I think the story comes down to, for me, it's perseverance. The will you showed. I mean, I spoke to him when I said, imagine you didn't listen to your family. I think it comes down to support. His support group around him. He told me his parents supported him a lot, and they've always both our parents have always, regardless of what we've done in the past, or mostly
Yeah.
what you've done, you've been, well anyway. But it's
Goals
about the
have changed,
support group, Boeboes, and if you didn't make that decision of okay, yeah, let's give it one more go.
Yeah.
But obviously the sacrifice in that is you didn't have the money, but he still, verstaan yourself, to understand how you did that. Did you work? Did you have a bit of, obviously the match fees helped.
Yeah, well, I was lucky to my mother could support me for 1 year, and I knew that. So I realized I can't F this up. So
Your back was against the wall.
yeah, my back was against the wall, and when you're young, you can see when guys really want it.
Yeah.
And the one thing my mother told me when I went to the academy was, just work hard. Please work hard. I will support you for 1 year. Just work hard. And that's one thing that stayed for me from the beginning till now.
Yeah.
So whatever you put in, you're gonna get rewards
So,
back
yeah,
whenever. You never know, but
Yeah.
when you put the work in, you're gonna get
Ja.
the reward
Jy
back.
sien nog baie so emosioneel so.
Ja, so ja.
Maar nee, dis fyn, maar dis wat
Ja,
jy
Ja,
sê.
my laaste keer taxi sak
Ja,
het.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same with us, and Boeboes, it just shows you, and you've always, like we've been pretty lucky out of school.
Ja.
We fell into comfortable places where we almost messed it up, and we've had everything basically given to us, rugby wise, like contracts, and we were in a situation in a period of 2 years where we almost messed it up completely with our off-field stuff.
Ja.
But the story was so special to me because the amount of at that age, at a young age, having that mental capacity and that mental strength to push through, because you've got a lot of distractions in that age, eh?
Yeah, well, you're just out of school. You just, so party is like
Gaan
a
jy Hatfield toe.
Hatfield Square.
Ja, met 'n drop zone.
Dropas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boeboes, just
Not that I didn't do it.
Yeah,
I did,
yeah.
did do it.
but you worked hard and you played
yeah,
hard.
always pitch. It doesn't
Mm.
matter what happened. If you want to go partytjie or whatever,
You turn up.
you turn up. If it's with
Yeah.
Babalas or whatever, you turn up and you're on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, we'll jump now. Obviously, just want to go back a few steps. Tell us a bit about your upbringing, family, brothers. You've got 2 brothers.
Yes.
Yes.
So I got 2 brothers and I have 2 stepsisters. So when I was young, my mother and father got divorced. I think I was 3-4 years old. They got divorced. We moved from Betal to Middelburg.
Yeah.
I was born in Betal. So me and my mother and my middle brother, so they are 9 years older than me and then 12 years. So that's my oldest brother.
Baby brother.
Uh-huh.
You're the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the baby. I was a surprise.
JP was 2.
Yeah, my
I
mother
was
and
first.
No, then I'm the surprise.
Yeah, my mother and father actually got married twice. So yeah, I was born on the second marriage, but anyway, they got divorced at the end. So that time was a
Yeah.
big scandal if you get divorced
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we moved to Middelburg. My father passed away unluckily when I was 8 years old. I only have good memories of him. Obviously my brothers were very close with him. Lived in Middelburg. My mother married again with Coetzee.
I met him the other day.
Yeah, and I must say, luckily, he's one of. I was on at the trigger point. He's one of my biggest supporters. Yeah. I must say, I'm one of the lucky ones who got another father. I grew up alone in the house, and I think that's one of my biggest things was to keep myself busy always.
Yeah.
All that with with the ball. My mother always said, no, I like to. I don't want cars. I don't want to play with anything else than balls. So yeah.
Boobs, can I ask you a
Yeah.
question? Obviously, I can see it's a touching point for you, but how much did having that father figure at that young age support you and help you growing up? Was it important? Because obviously myself, having another daughter in Australia, I think about it a lot, and it always has an impact on me subconsciously, and normally I think about what my daughter's growing up. At the moment she's 7 years old. She doesn't have a father with her, although I try and speak to her a lot as much as I can. But explain to me how that support from a course, since your father's passing at that young age especially, how now looking back at it, do you think it had a massive impact on your life?
Yeah, definitely. It's like I think the biggest thing that he told me was discipline, and I know like your situation, it's difficult, but the biggest thing my stepfather taught me was discipline, and that's one thing I want to like move on to my two daughters.
Yeah.
And in life you need discipline.
100%.
Just on that subject, do you guys think, because as to be a professional rugby, you need discipline, but do you think your upbringing is a massive part to learn that discipline, or do you think rugby teaches you that discipline without having that in early ages?
I think it can go both ways. We learned discipline through learning the hard way, by not having discipline. We grew up very strict, but once we left the house, like you said, the last course, and therefore we almost came to a crossroads to choose. We've got to choose now, this way or that way. And that's how we learn discipline. But I think
so we took this way, but we just went around.
but I think what Boeboes has always been, like, he's never really been on that liggies road, you know. Like we took it too far. He always had a good balance, and he's
still have.
And Boeboes, no, it's thanks for sharing that for us, John. It means a lot, and I can see it touches your.
Yeah, it touches you. You never speak about it. That's the thing. So if someone asks you, it gets quite.
Yeah. But that's what our whole point about this podcast is to get that out there, because John, you wouldn't realize how many people are the same as us and have the same vulnerabilities and the same struggles, but deal with it in different ways. And we, like I said in the past, we used to deal it with substance abuse, and if something goes wrong, you jumped it. And we slowly, obviously, working on that and getting through that. JP's done really well with it. I'm still working on it. It's a day-to-day thing. But in saying that, tell us a bit about your career, your challenges. What were your? If you can think back now, that yes, this is really challenging.
Especially maybe the family. I know you're still a young family, but
Yeah, so obviously I went to the Lions when I was a junior. Still, I was actually 21 when I went to Lions. Everything went well, and then obviously we got relegated out of Super Rugby. Yeah. So there you thought, okay, way to whatever. Then I got a chance to go to the Sharks. I went to the Sharks on loan. The first game I played for them, I dislocated my shoulder. Went up for
I remember that.
We were supposed to fly the next day on tour. Oh, I was with the team. Dislocated my shoulder, and I thought there, like, we now what to go to, whatever.
But you weren't married then, back then. It's a long time ago. Yeah, we're still young.
That's the thing. I've met my wife in 2018. So
this all the success of Super Rugby.
So my whole career, I didn't have a family or wife or whatever. So I only met my wife in 2018. So I can't really go, this is what my family went through. But where I can go to, let's skip to 2018, 2019. Me and Mart went to Japan. Like I had just 6 months. So I played for the Lions. Went to Coetzee and Osaka. No, we really enjoyed it. It
Yeah, Japan.
Yeah, Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got married. We were there for 2 years. Then COVID obviously started. We were lucky in Japan. I think Japan was the only country actually.
kept paying, yeah.
That kept paying the full salary.
Rare.
Yeah. Nobody got salary cuts.
And you were able to fly home or what? Stay in
Yeah,
Japan?
you were allowed like one travel, but
Okay.
there was the one of the most difficult parts me and Mark went through was when COVID was really hectic in Japan. I went and she stayed behind,
Sure.
so she wasn't allowed to go with me.
How long was that for?
That was alone.
Yeah, when you went there, she was
8 weeks.
Yeah.
So 2 months, then we got a contract at Benetton, Italy. I think the most difficult time there was being away from your family.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got Lentely. Lentely was born in that time when we were just before we went to Italy. I think Lentely was like 2 weeks or
Sure.
then we went to.
And I think Willem also said, I think the toughest situation, especially in France and Italy, if you have a young family, no one speaks English there. No one. So if Boeboes is mostly away for rugby, say half of the season, what happen if something happens with one of them? Who do they contact? Verstaan jy? That sort of. I think that must be tough, eh? And obviously that sort of stuff puts a pressure on your relationship as well.
Yeah. So that's one of the most. If there's an emergency, you can't just run to the closest. Or you can go to the emergency, but that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas in Japan, if your wife is alone, you can call the translator and they're happy to help. They jump to help.
Yeah.
It's a total opposite worlds. In Japan, it's everyone's there to help. There's not always English. Where Boeboes was, maybe there's more English, but where I was in Nagoya, there wasn't much English anywhere you go.
But I must say, Japan, the people there want you there.
Yeah.
Where I felt in Italy, it's not normally the case.
You're almost like a imposter.
Yeah. But they want to help you, but you have to. What I also understand, so they're very pride nation as well as Japan, but Japan is more about learning. Italy was for me more about we must fit in with them.
Yeah. All right, Boop. So in your contract, when you went to Italy with Benetton, how far in the contract did you realize, no, this is maybe not for me, or did you realize that?
Yeah. So it was my first year. So I had a 3-year contract with Benetton. In my first year, I realized if I keep going at Benetton, my career will probably be on the rocks. That's when I obviously contacted the Lions again, and they wanted me back. So I realized if I stayed there for 2 more years, then I'm probably gonna my rugby will be done, because I didn't play a lot there. I played the first 9 games. I got injured, and I just didn't play again. So that was quite a difficult decision. But also Mart and Lentely, we decided as a family to come back for them as well, to be with family, mother, support system and all that kind of stuff. So I believe it was the right decision to do. So I didn't realize to come back.
I want to ask you something that you just mentioned now, and I wouldn't say it's a current situation. Everyone knows at the Lions what you do, what you bring on field and also off field. You're a massive part of the squad. But when you mentioned you got injured and then you didn't play for a while, you didn't get selected. Coming from a position where you've played 14 tests for the Springboks and you were, I would say, the golden boy of the Lions at a stage, right? You were the number 1 pick, but I think Swayze de Bruin even mentioned a few years ago, if he was a Springbok selector when you're in your prime, you would be the first guy he picks. Coming from that, with that mentality, being at the top of the game, you've reached the pinnacle of the game, and then now you've come to Benetton and all of a sudden you've played 9 games and then you're not getting selected. Eh? Does that impact you in some ways? Do you have to change your mindset? How do you react to that? What is your coping structures in that situation?
Yeah, so funny enough, my coping solution is I think always back to where it all started. When
there was nothing.
Yeah, when Province told me you're done.
Yeah.
So I was there. I was done at one stage. Even it was after a year, but still. And I always think I actually didn't want to play rugby, but I wasn't supposed. My whole high school career, I didn't play A team. I played B team. So I always think I can't really express it in English.
You put it in perspective.
In you.
Yeah, so I always think I weren't supposed to make it,
And
rugby,
you did
and I still made it.
Yeah.
So that's my coping mechanism. So and that's where I know when I put hard work in, I will get rewarded. One
Eventually.
stage. Even if it's on another place,
Yeah.
I will get rewarded at one stage.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And
like
it
you
comes
said.
down
But-
to that
that's-
self-belief. Eh?
But yeah, it is hard not to get selected.
Yeah.
It's still it's human.
Yeah.
You don't feel worthy or whatever. But you have to, in sport you have to, and in life it doesn't matter whatever, you have to cope with it.
Yeah.
Because if you go back, if you feel sorry for yourself, you're not gonna make it.
And obviously I've spoken on the previous episode. Me and Boeboes could say we're in the same position. Yeah. Obviously, not playing week in week out, and that's fine. And Boobs, being such a competitive person, and you will always be competitive. That never leaves you. Have you ever thought about finishing when you finish? How are you going to challenge that competitiveness? How are you going to harness that energy into a different way? Because I think what guys don't understand a lot is, I've spoken to a lot of people that's played. Once you finish rugby, because your life is so structured, your competitiveness is there every day.
Yeah.
Everything is. So that mentality for 15 years, and then have you given a lot of thought about finishing one day, and then how are you gonna, or not really?
No, well, obviously you have to think about it.
Don't you think it's routine based? So if you get it, you stay in the same routine. That,
I think that's the biggest thing because we get a program every week. You have to be on this time. You have to be there. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge for me personally. To get off a schedule after rugby, and I think it's important to stay active from the morning until whenever. But it obviously starts every day. You have to plan your days, and I think that's for me. It's gonna be, that's my plan to plan my days in advance or whatever.
And I think, Ron, it's not. I think a lot of people misunderstand the fact that it's not the rugby we will miss. If you retire, you've retired before. But it's like you said, it's that thrill, the challenge. You prepare the whole week, and then you get the result on the Saturday, and that's what you chase.
Yeah.
The process.
But there's a difference thing. I retired because I completely hated rugby.
Yeah.
I was back then. I just didn't enjoy it anymore, and I just had enough. And I said I would do anything. And then I got my career got resumed, and I started enjoying it, and I changed my perception of it. But I've got another thing. I've been approached by a lot of plus size model companies. I think I can hook you up post-rugby. Do some modeling.
My mother said I can go into modeling. Modeling, so long as it's not underwear.
OnlyFans?
Huh? OnlyFans.
No, but yeah, for this, I'm definitely the best looking at the Lions. Boeboes second. You probably around 8. So if I get approached by big companies to do some underwear modeling,
Yeah.
He should be fine.
I don't understand why you haven't started this. A long time ago.
It's post-rugby plans.
Oh,
Boeboes.
He's not on his goal weight yet. 5 more kilograms
Yeah,
in his.
I think he's 30 k's off.
Yeah. That's hectic. And Boobs, tell us a bit. What do you do when you have time off? You go on holiday a lot. Spend a lot of time in Durban.
No.
Why Durban?
Why Durban? Because we were there.
Yeah. Aren't you going to Durban this weekend again? Next weekend?
No, we're not going there to Durban.
Where are you going?
Just outside Pretoria.
Wow.
Yeah, going there to Durban. Yeah.
Sit in die Durban boxie.
Die poepelletjies.
Yeah.
No, off time, family time. Obviously, I have two little ones, 2 daughters, and I spend as much time as I can with them. I see with my oldest brother as well. When they get to a certain age, they just want to be with the friends, and then you miss out. Not miss out, but yeah. So long as if I can be with them, I will be with them.
Yeah.
When's the third one coming?
No. No.
Listen,
I just told him when we were on our way here, I told him my missus is getting eager to get another one.
Is it?
After she told me a month ago she doesn't want another one, but
Yeah.
now it seems like,
yeah, he's got 2 beautiful daughters, and being in the same boat, we're gonna have to watch out.
Yeah.
But I think mine is more calmer than his.
Yeah, just wait.
Listen, Boobs, and when I picked you up this morning, I mentioned to Mart that we could be traveling a lot again in this year. And how do you juggle the lot of traveling? Obviously, when you leave overseas, it is a lot of pressure on a dad and a husband to worry about what's going on here at home. Is your wife okay? If it's not, because people that don't have kids don't understand. That's what I always tell you, Lindy, as well. I don't understand. I've gotten a lot of respect for single mothers. I wouldn't say single mothers, but when I'm away, and my wife has, and same with your wife, how do you keep control and how do you stay focused on what you have to do and also worry about what's more important, your family? Because it's always there, isn't it? There's always...
Yeah, there's always going to... That's one of the biggest challenges is if you go away. But my thing is always it's to make certain, or to be certain when you leave,
Everything's in order.
everything is in order. So and sometimes you have to let go.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to leave your family behind, or if you go away, and that, like you said, you have so much respect, and me as well. If I have to look after 2 little ones
For 2
that's
hours.
1 year old
Yeah.
and 2 years old, 24 hours. It's a big job.
yeah,
So-
it's not easy. Eh?
Yeah. So like you said, also ask, what do I do with my off time? I spend time with them. I help my wife out when I can.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I won't necessarily go on a boys' weekend or a boys' night or whatever. Because I know it gets down to when I leave, she has to look after them for 2 to 4 weeks. So I think if you leave, or when I leave, is when you make sure everything is in order. Are they safe? Or everything is just fine. So that's the only thing you can do. So
Speaking on a boys trip, are you allowed?
What?
You need the visa.
No. Listen.
no comment.
Don't bring our personal life.
Don't project.
Yeah, don't project your anger onto me. There's some pain behind those eyes. No? Listen, I saw an interesting video the other day, and this is probably a topic I want to touch on as well. What's that girl's name that posted on the Lions group about this?
Megan Milan.
Is it Megan Milan? Shout out to Megan Milan. I saw a video of her, Boobs, and your opinion would be interesting on this. There's a lot of Lions diehard supporters that always, once the team loses, it gets pretty ugly in the comments. And I'm not sure if you read the comments. I don't anymore. I initially had to remove myself from that group. Then I got re-added. But this girl, Megan Milan, had made a long video about conditional support. When the Lions are doing well, you're happy. 1 week we beat the Sharks, everyone loves us. Everyone loves the coaching staff, and one week, the next week we lose, and then we're the worst team in the world again. Where does that sit with you? Does that, in general speaking, not just the fans in rugby
Not
wise,
just the Lions.
because rugby is such a, we spoke about this morning as well, such a conditional game. It's like this almost, the roller coaster that never stops. Unless you, Andries Coetzee back from 2015 to 2018. The roller coaster just goes like
Ticket
that.
sales 20,000.
Yeah. Sells 20,000 tickets a game. Now, in serious, how do you, because I know it definitely had a massive effect on me during my career. And to a point where I mentioned earlier, I was at a breaking point where I just said, I'm done with this. Because it's not just the fan, but the administration, everyone is...
Can I jump in there? I think the fact where the frustration comes in for me and for both of you, that we, as in the Lions, and I'm going to say this, as rugby players, we are not allowed, because of the brand, to say something back. But I've decided, and you've decided, I will say something back. So I think the frustration comes there that you are not allowed to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
If you do, you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Understand? Like you stood up for yourself. The guy came back. Now you almost mates. So for me, that's a frustration.
So what's your view on did you find it the same way? Do you find rugby very conditional, or are you?
Yeah, so obviously we went through. I was at the Lions when we lost. We didn't win one game in 2012. I think we maybe won two. Two games, and then we obviously, like you said, the roller coaster. We just
Took off.
And now it's like this. But the thing about fans, obviously you get your diehard supporters. And I
You warranted.
yeah, I really appreciate those guys. But the thing is also, people like to relate themselves to a winning culture or winning team or whatever. That's life.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is not to get
Emotional.
caught in that. I was never a guy who read comments or through my life ever, because I don't want to say I don't care, but I actually don't care.
You don't want to let it affect you.
Because who said it always? Success and failure is written in eyes, and tomorrow the sun will shine.
Yeah.
So that's one of my go-tos. If it's going great, tomorrow is another day. If it's going bad, tomorrow is also another day. It's a new day.
Yeah.
So
It's powerful, eh?
yeah. So
But don't you, Boeboes, don't you
Jannie
think,
Pitter het altyd gesê, ja.
don't you think, obviously, as your mom, your brothers, all it affects them in that sense? Because obviously, I would say most of the
So
family-
JP's biggest issue about it is he feels you need to stay off social media. If you want to have a problem with the player saying he's cock, or that's cock, rather message the guy directly and have a conversation with him. Because what JP comes down to is, and we knew when my mother was like that, she always read the comments for some reason. And
Okay.
as a father now, you would one day hope you don't read that stuff about your kids. So what it comes down to for me and him is, it affects family members, it affects people you know, and 100% it's warranted that they want to be related to a winning culture, and we get the frustration, we get it. All that we want to trying to push is to have that unconditional love for your team, that unconditional love
and there's
for
a
the
lot
players.
of fans out there.
And there are a lot out there, and that's why that video from Megan was refreshing. And I even said to us myself, "Thank you for standing up for the players. It means a lot." And not saying people can't get angry. Of course, you can get angry. You support the Lions, you support your team, and that's normal. But yeah, that's just it's just to your opinion about.
Yeah. No, it's a grey area. So, but for me, I firmly like Boeboes. It doesn't bother me. I
No.
don't care. The frustrating thing for me is that I feel I'm put in a situation that I can't stand up for myself. So, because especially remember in Australia they had a big policy around this, and I think I don't know if there's any consequences, but I won't say you go out of your way. The way you handled it that one time was perfect. But yeah, it's for me, likewise, if someone says something bad about you on the social media, or vice versa, I like it.
No, but I will go back at it.
Yeah.
I personally, but you have to approach it the right way. You can't
Yeah.
be aggressive. You can't be rude. You can't be, if you
Yeah.
choose to do it.
Yeah, I also think that a lot of the times people just go and they will
Instigate.
just see something on social media and think, okay, I'm maybe gonna comment quickly, whatever, JPS cock.
Instinctively,
Yeah.
they don't
My,
think before.
it doesn't go on purpose onto whatever, but that message makes a big impact on him
100%.
or your family.
Yeah.
That is one thing people doesn't realize.
Mm.
Sometimes it's better just to say nothing.
Yeah,
If you don't have something good to say,
100%, and that's what it comes down to. It might not affect him that bad of me, but imagine you, 21-year-old kid, playing your debut game, and you don't have a great game, and all that stuff comes through. I remember my first game for the Lions. Okay, I gave away 2 scrums. It wasn't my best performance, and I got absolutely whatever the word is, manhandled on
Yeah.
social media, and that's when I realized, yes, it's a different ballgame in South Africa. Eh? It's people care a bit more.
but rugby is,
Religion.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing. So it's
I get it.
It's
I
difficult.
understand.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to go through. But for me personally, it's better just to stay off any social.
No,
media.
100%. I don't read that stuff anymore.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, I quickly want to touch on.
Listen, do you want to be here? Because you look like you don't want to.
I should have actually just asked Boeboes.
Take
because you in my house here. You're
Take
sitting like you on holiday. You came an hour late
with your clothes on.
Yeah, with my clothes
And
on.
by the way, these pants are really tight. Eh? You need to
Yeah.
pull your head in. You cannot wear tight pants like this.
You just bigger.
No, but we just went
But
through.
I must
tight
say,
pants.
Ron is much more active in the gym than you.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I won't say that, bro.
See, but me and him spoke about it earlier. No, wait, let me speak.
You told him to say that.
I'm the
didn't
lead anchor. So what me and him spoke earlier. Shaven legs. You always wear
I
perfume.
always wear my.
You have a skin routine. What's happened?
Do you have a skin routine?
No, look
No,
at
you
you.
don't. You've got the most beautiful skin in the world.
Bro, we age gracefully. But you. No, you.
John, I
Not
cannot-
for men. That's my.
Yeah.
What's wrong with putting
When you talk to
sunscreen
me,
on your
put
face?
your hat on properly or take it off. No, oh, joke aside, but listen, yeah, I think this was
Yeah.
I'm very happy about this episode, Boobs, and John Donkey, thank you for opening up to us. I know we touched on a few nerves, but that's what we want to get.
Aren't you going to ask me on my shirt?
No,
Sorry.
wait, I'll ask you now, I'm talking.
Okay. Sorry. Ball blard. Ball cock.
I saw like a
But yeah, comes the boom.
Okay, John, al die hoed kyk asseblief, okay, bly stil. Anyway, Boobs, yeah, thank you very much. And I think what we've wanted to get out of this episode, we did. And it's going to be, I think a
Very
lot of
good
people are
one,
going to
yeah.
enjoy this one. They're going to give us, like always, everyone, before JP wants to finish off with this
Can I quickly
plot twist or whatever you call it.
I also want to say thank you to
Okay,
Boeboes.
just talk.
Okay. Now you guys finish up. So.
As jy van julle, if one says thank you, it's like on both of you.
Yeah. Once again, I think you guys will enjoy this episode. It was, our first guest. And once again, guys, it's not a rugby podcast. We've got a lot of other people lined up that's not in rugby, but this was a special one for us because I heard Boeboes' story, like I said a few weeks ago, and it really thought we need to get it out there.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of topics we touch on just quickly, and in the future we'll get Boeboes on again, and like always, just comment, ask questions on this video below on all social media platforms.
Even if you want to hate.
Yeah. So yeah, and just want to touch, guys. Me and Ron's busy launching. It's been in the process for a while now with a good friend there, Rory Latergan. So we're launching a rugby clinic. So keep your eyes on for that. It's going to be a bit different than the usual one.
Is that the shirt you're wearing?
Yeah, and I've got a hat.
Well, show the logo. What's it called? 87
What do you
Rugby.
reckon?
87 Rugby.
Is that not Adidas hood?
Yeah, no. This is
And what it's
this
gonna
is sponsored.
it's gonna just on the thing. What is it gonna entail? It's gonna entail specialized coaching, individual position-based coaching, and it's
But-
also gonna have a little bit of a twist where, yeah, we're not gonna give secrets away. No, you
Yeah.
guys will see.
So 8-7. Ask me the why 8-7.
Why is it 8-7?
8 forwards, 7 backs.
Okay.
No, not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very
Good,
very,
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much, Boobs. Love you. Thanks for your friendship. Bye, dankie Joe.
Dankie vir julle. Thank you very much. En vir julle vriendskap.
Dankie, John.